Okay, I'm going to make a video on place training, or some people just call it go to your mat or go to your rug. And this is in response to a question about a dog that is table surfing or counter surfing. The most reliable way with the least amount of fallout is to make sure that you put nothing on your counters, leave nothing on your counters. I would do that for at least a couple weeks. That's really the most reliable way to stop counter surfing. A couple weeks should hopefully break the dog of the habit, and maybe it's not quite as exciting when you start to reintroduce food and things left on the counters again. But again, I would start by putting nothing on your counters for a couple weeks. Behaviors like counter surfing that are intermittently reinforced are really strong behaviors. It's a lot like gambling. They keep playing because they know at some point they will win by getting food off the counter. So it's important to prevent them from being rewarded by not giving them the opportunity to counter surf. You certainly can spray your dog with water for counter surfing, or put cookie sheets with metal spoons on the edge of the counter, so when the dog knocks the cookie sheet, the metal spoons fall and it makes a big noise and scares them. But there is a chance that you will create a problem by trying to fix a problem, like having the dog be scared to come into the kitchen. Have the dog, sometimes dogs become scared of people. Sometimes dogs then become scared of surfaces. So like say here, if a cookie sheet fell with metal spoons, maybe my dog wouldn't want to walk on hardwood floors anymore. So those things do happen. So we try to prevent those from happening by, instead of just punishing the dog for counter surfing, we try to teach them another thing, like an alternate behavior, so an incompatible behavior. So the dog would be coming to lay on the mat instead of hovering over mealtime. So teaching them to go to a place or a rug is a good incompatible behavior, so they can't counter surf or table surf if they're laying on a rug quietly. And doesn't Beckham, this is my Border Collie Beckham, he looks so cute and handsome, just laying on a rug. He's never this calm. He knows he's doing his job. His job is to lay on the rug right now. So he knows this very well. So this isn't going to be quite as easy as, now of course he's going to get up and leave. Hey Bex, go to your place. Good boy. This is going to look not quite the same as if you had a dog that had never done this before, because Beckham does know how to do this, and he does enjoy it. He's pretty good at it. But anyway, so we want to pick a place for your dog to go to so you can see the dog. So if my end goal is that I can sit at the kitchen table and watch my dog, I want my dog pretty close within eyesight. I don't want them like directly under the table. Like I wouldn't put them right here because then if food fell, then it would be too tempting. Some people put the dog at like their kitchen sink mat, so you can do that as well. Or this mat by my back door would be good too. I do have one of my dogs stay there during most meal times or some meal times because it's pretty close to the table. The nice thing about a towel though too is it catches the drool if your dog is actually on the towel. We're not so much, but we're close. So if you want to start by getting your dog's dinner, you can put like I have just a little cup full of some of Beckham's food. For the beginning training, kibble is good so your dog doesn't get fat. On treats at the end, you might want to use higher value treats, or when you go back after your dog is really good at it, you can use more valuable treats than just kibble. But in the beginning, you go through a lot of treats, so their kibble is good. At the beginning, no distractions, so you can do this after the kids go to bed. When you're alone with the dog, you don't want a lot of people around because I don't want the dog super distracted. I want them to learn what they're supposed to do before we add distractions. So I'll start by getting a couple pieces of kibble. We're going to have the dog lay down on the rug. I think down is better than sit, because if you do it for an extended period of time, then dogs can get tired and end up in a down. So I'd rather just be proactive and start in a down. I always do a down for this. So it's like an implied stay. So the dog has to hold a stay on the rug, but I don't say stay. So I just say go to your place, and my expectation is that the dog stays there until I say my release word. So my release word is free. So when my dog is free to get up, I say free. He's not going to get up because life is boring around here and he thinks that he can get kibble out of this. So he's going to stay there, but your dog will end up learning that whatever your release word is, that's what they can get up on. If there was something more exciting going on, then surely Beckham would get up. But I say free. You can say all done. You can say that'll do, go play, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I would caution you against saying okay, just because okay comes up in normal conversation. If, your son or daughter said, hey, can I have a drink of whatever? And you said okay, and the dog got up, the dog isn't terribly wrong in that situation. So that's why I say free, because it doesn't come up in conversation, but it still kind of has that meaning of you're free. So I'm going to start by taking the dog off of the mat. And I just said free like 10 times there, so he should know to get off. And so Beckham knows this. He's just going to go lay on the rug without me telling him to. If my dog didn't know this, I can go over to the rug. I can wait until he offers a laying down. My dogs offer things a lot because I'm a dog trainer. They know that there's always something going on. But if your dog doesn't offer a down, or would probably never offer a down, you can certainly just ask them to lay down, lure them into a down on the rug. So I'm gonna start, so my dog is in a down on the rug, and I have cookies, and since there's no distractions, I'm the most exciting thing. I'm gonna start by just dropping treats on the rug. And then as soon as he figures out, okay, this is cool, I can lay on the rug, I'm gonna work on standing up, dropping treats, stand up, drop treats, stand up, drop a couple treats. My goal is that my dog now can look up. So I'm gonna wait for him to look up, see, like that, good, without getting up. So look up without getting up, good. And I'm gonna say good when he does the right thing. So the right thing is him looking up, good, and treat comes after the good. You can also say yes, good. So he looks up without getting up, he gets a good and a cookie. Good. Then my goal is now, I'm going to start adding distance. So I'm going to walk away, good. So when he does the right thing, which is staying there, good. So it's the right thing is staying there without getting up, good, he gets a cookie. And it's just kibble, it's not terribly exciting. I'm going to add more distance. I'm going to walk kind of across the room, good. And your dog might not be able to do this if this is, your first time, good. So for, maybe the first week, you might only get that far, free. If your dog were to get up on their own, just get them back onto the rug, have them lay down and start again. You can also, once they're pretty good at it, so, you want to do this for maybe a week, and you can just spend 5 or 10 minutes a day doing it. If you want, you can feed them their whole dinner or half their dinner, whatever you prefer. Once they're pretty good at it, what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to get my dog off the mat, free. And then I'm going to say, go to your place. Good boy. He gets cookies. And then if your dog starts to just obsess over the mat and loves the mat, which is good, that's what we're training him to do, you can say free and throw 1 cookie. So he gets 1 cookie for going over there. And then I say, go to your place. And he runs there, lays down. Good boy. He gets a couple cookies. Good job. So again, the goal is, what we're working on is increasing distance, increasing distractions, and you might only get this far, like I said, for maybe the first week or 2. Then I'm going to start adding more distractions, so maybe I'm going to walk over here and pick up a placemat. Good boy. So every time you add a distraction, he gets a good boy and a cookie. Maybe I'm going to pull out a chair. Good boy. He gets a cookie. Push in the chair. Good. Cookie. And I'm out of cookies, so I'm going to say free. If you run out, just release them, and then you can go get more. It's probably too big of a distraction to go get more cookies while he's staying there. So free. So I'm going to release him. Then I'm going to start maybe from further distances. So right here, I'm going to say, go to your place, and have him run over there, and your place. Good job. Good boy. And then I can even maybe go further into the kitchen. Over here, he's over there. Good boy. Cookie. And this might be, 3 weeks of doing this. I hope it's not 3 weeks, but it might be, depending on your dog. And we're gonna do this with no distractions until we start adding distractions. Then your next step, free, Beckham free. Your next step would probably be then to start doing it during the day when everybody's around. And then your end goal would be, hopefully like after a month of doing these things, you should be able to, maybe when the meal is finished, When you guys are done eating, you could then send the dog to the place, and make sure you feed him for it. Make sure you give him rewards for doing it, especially with higher distractions. And then, work up towards possibly having the dog lay there the whole time, the whole meal, and then wait for you to clear the table. It also just teaches them to kind of be more calm. If they're supposed to lay down on their mat during a kind of hectic time, I think that helps teach them a little bit of self-control. So it's super handy for kind of obnoxious dogs, because like Beckham, he can be obnoxious. He's working. He knows that he's kind of doing his job, so he's happy to lay on his mat, versus if he was just milling about, he would be kind of a pain in the neck. So that's kind of the whole place training for food purposes. Make sure every time you go do a new distraction, he does get fed. Eventually, you will phase out all these treats. You're not going to use all these treats all the time. After a month or two, you can definitely cut back on the treats. I don't want you to completely get rid of the treats, because then he's going to be like, screw it, I don't care. I don't need to lay on the rug. I'd rather come and table surf. So he does need to be, just like gambling, he needs to be intermittently reinforced. So maybe food falls on the floor. If he stays on his rug, he gets a couple cookies for that. Good job, couple cookies. Make sure you always remember to do your release word at the end. Make sure you always say free or all done, whatever your release word is. When you're all done, don't forget that. Your stay, or your, in this case, mat training, is only as good as your release word is. They should only get up on that. So then the next thing we would do is doorbell training. And anytime your dog gets up, if there's a big distraction and your dog gets up, it was probably just too big of a distraction too soon. So that just tells us that we need to cut back on distractions, or reward more frequently during those higher distractions. So Beckham, free. Let's take the blanket, free, move, to the front door, because I want to show you the door, how you would use this for doorbell training. So I'm gonna pick a place, my front door opens this way. So I'm gonna pick a place over here so my dog can see out the door, but can't get to the person. So this is my dining room here. So I might put the dog on the mat here, and you can leave the dog bed there. Or I have a half staircase, then it goes up the rest of the way, but we use the landing. Beckham knows this. We use the landing for the dogs to go to their place on the landing, because it's just easier than leaving a dog bed around. So when my doorbell rings, my dogs know, go to your place. And Beckham got confused when we taught him to back up the stairs. So he backs up the stairs, but whatever, that's fine. That's his place. We call it go to your place, is the stairs. And you could certainly just put your rug up there if you've already spent all this time training on the towel or the rug in the kitchen. Then you could certainly just take that rug and use it to train on the by the door. If you don't have kind of a specific place like that, then I would still use some sort of rug or something like that, some marker that knows that so your dog knows where they're supposed to be. So we would do this the same way. I'm just going to use this rug as an example. Beckham, free. Come here. Free. So I would go to your place, and if we're doing it in a different place, then you might, different location than before, you might need to do a couple cookies, so good boy. Then what I would do is, if I want him to, so my goal is that he stays there in a down position while I can open the door and get a package, or sign for a package, or let the pizza delivery guy, drop off his pizza, or even invite guests in as well. So my goal is for him to stay there while any of that happens. So first thing is, I'm gonna go just the distance to the front door. So see, he's right there. Here's my door. That happens, and I say, good boy, cookie. Then I work up towards jiggling the handle. Good boy, cookie. He doesn't get up, so he gets a good boy and a cookie. Then I would open the door slightly. Good boy, cookie. Then I'm gonna build up towards, I open the door and say, hi, because they always think someone's there if you say hi. Good boy, he gets a cookie. Then I'm gonna open up the door, reach out and ring the doorbell. That always sets him off. If he holds the stay good boy cookie, if he gets up, just get him back into position and try again. So there's nobody actually at the door. That's too big of a distraction right now. It would just be me ringing the doorbell. Then you would build up towards a family member ringing the doorbell, and then ultimately someone else ringing the doorbell. But it does take a lot of repetitions iterations of doing this with mild distractions before you can do it with those big distractions. If you have any questions, you can post them below or email me, and thanks for watching.